Hi guys, in this third part of our series on object-oriented programming in Python, we are going to explore the advanced concepts of encapsulation, abstraction and interfaces with some practical examples. So let's get started with encapsulation. Encapsulation is an important principle of object-oriented programming and it refers to the bundling of data and methods that operate on this data together into a single unit called class. It also restricts direct access to some of the class's components. In Python, we implement encapsulation using access modifiers. You must have heard about access modifiers if you have worked with C++ or Java before. Access modifiers control the visibility and accessibility of the class's members, which include attributes and methods. We have three main types of access modifiers, including public, private, and protected. Public class members are accessible from anywhere and require no special syntax, while private members are accessible only within the class in which they are defined and their names are prefixed with a double underscore. On the other hand, we have protected class members which are accessible within the class and its subclasses and their names are prefixed with a single underscore. Suppose that you have a bank account where you are maintaining some balance. Now you don't want this balance to be directly accessible to the outside world. Otherwise, any malicious user can intentionally misuse or modify the balance value. So in this case, I have created a class called bank account which has three methods. First method is init method where I am initializing account holder and account number value, and I am also initializing a balance attribute. You can see I have put two underscores before the name balance to indicate that this is a private attribute and it can be only accessed via the class methods. Alright, this has been initialized with value 0 because initially we don't have any balance in our account. Next, we have created a method called deposit which will accept a variable called amount, and this parameter will be passed here, and we will check that if the amount is bigger than 0, if the value passed is bigger than 0, then we will update the balance value by adding this amount to the existing balance, and then we will print a message which says deposited this much amount and new balance is now self.balance. Our third method is withdraw method where again we are passing amount as a parameter, and inside this method we are checking that if the amount value lies between 0 and the balance present in the account, only then we can deduct it from the existing balance, and then we will print this message withdrawn this much amount and new balance is now self.balance value, whatever value we will get after deducting the amount. Otherwise, if the amount value is not a valid value or we don't have the sufficient balance in our account, then we will get this message invalid amount or insufficient balance, try again. Alright, let's create an object of this class and let's call this object as my account. I will assign it the class name which is bank account, and I have to pass values for account holder and account number also. Let's say account holder name is Deepika, which is my name, and account number is, let's suppose, 1003. Now if I try to access the balance value or balance attribute directly using this object, let's see what happens then. So this is balance. First of all, it was not visible in the list and still I am trying to print it. Let's suppose I use print function here to print the balance, and here I will choose the current file and run the code. In that case, I get this error which says that bank account object has no attribute __ balance. As you can see, this is encapsulation in action. Here we cannot access the private attribute directly. Now the only way to access this attribute is to use the class methods. Let me show you how it will be done. So instead of using this line, I will be accessing one of the methods here. So my account dot, let's deposit some amount first, and here let's suppose I want to deposit 20,000 rupees, and now if I run this code, then deposited 20,000 and new balance is 20,000.0. Now I want to check whether the withdraw method is also working or not. So here I will choose the withdraw method and pass some amount that I want to deduct from my account. Let's suppose I want to deduct 9,000, and if I run the code now, then I get this message withdrawn 9,000 and new balance is 20,000 minus 9,000, which gives me 11,000, and that is the final balance that I am getting here. So this is how encapsulation enables controlled access through public methods, which are also known as getters and setters. Let's move on to understand abstraction. Abstraction is another important principle of object-oriented programming, which is all about hiding unnecessary details and showing only the essential features of an object. Think of the remote control of your TV. You know how to operate it, but you don't know how it is actually working at the back end. Abstraction is implemented using abstract class and abstract method. An abstract class is the one which is used to derive new classes from it. It cannot be instantiated, and it must contain at least one abstract method. An abstract class is created using ABC module. So here we will type from ABC library import ABC, and this capital ABC stands for abstract base class. Put a comma and then type abstract method. In the next line I am going to define an abstract class. Let's suppose that the class that I am creating is called vehicle, and it will be used to create new classes from it. And since this is an abstract class, so here we will pass A, B, C inside the parenthesis, and abstract methods are defined using this decorator. So we have @abstract method. Let us suppose the name of my method is start engine, and inside this function body I am not going to pass any variables or statements. I will simply type pass, and I will implement the function body inside the derived class. Alright, let's define another abstract method. Once again I am going to type the decorator first, and then let's define the method as stop engine, and here also I will type pass inside the function body. Right now this abstract class can also be considered as an interface, because an interface is the one which has only abstract methods. No concrete or fully functional method is defined inside an interface. But here if I now define another method, let's say running is the name of the method, and now I am printing here a statement, it is running, then this becomes an abstract class and it is no longer an interface. So my abstract class is now defined, and if I try to instantiate it by defining an object of this class, then you will see that I will get an error. So here I will type vehicle.running. I am trying to access the running method using the object of this class, and if I run it now, then as I told you, we got this type error which says can't instantiate abstract class vehicle without an implementation for abstract methods start engine and stop engine. So this is the basic idea behind abstract class. It is only used to derive new classes from it. Alright, let's delete these two lines, and here I am going to now define a derived class, or you can say a concrete class, because it will be a fully functional class, and let's call this class as car, and it is deriving or inheriting all the properties from vehicle class. So we pass the name vehicle here, and let's now redefine the method or override the method start engine here, and inside this I am printing one statement, car engine started. Next I am going to override the stop engine method. So here we will type stop engine, and inside this function body I am printing the statement car engine now stopped, and that's it. And now we can create an object of this class. Let's call this object as my car, and let's assign it the name car here. Then we can simply access the methods my car dot start engine followed by my car dot running followed by my car dot stop engine, and let's run the file. So we got this output, car engine started, it is running, car engine now stopped. You can create more classes from your abstract class, and once again you can override the start engine and stop engine methods. In the previous example, I mentioned about the interfaces in Python. An interface is a blueprint for classes which is implemented using abstract classes with only method declarations. It forces the derived classes to implement these specific methods, which are basically abstract methods only. Even though an abstract class and an interface appear similar in Python, but the key difference between the two is that the abstract class may have some non-abstract methods along with the abstract methods, while all the methods in an interface must be abstract, and the derived classes are required to override all these abstract methods. Now, to make you understand the concept of abstract classes and abstract methods in a better way, I am giving you a small practice exercise. Try it on your own and share your code with me in the comments below. If you come up with any problems or doubts, then please don't hesitate to ask. That's all for this part of Object-Oriented Programming in Python series, everyone. Here we covered the basic concepts of encapsulation using access modifiers, abstract classes, abstract methods, and interfaces. If you learned something new today, then don't forget to hit the like button and share and subscribe my channel Programming Horizons for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.